It's Monday, the 5th of July 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. In today's headlines, the number of COVID cases around the world surges as New South Wales grapples to contain its current outbreak. Plus, Wall Street hits a new record as other financial markets get a bit tetchy about COVID-19. Thousands of companies hit in a mass cyber attack. And is this the week that the Reserve Bank prepares the way for tighter monetary policy? Our lead story today, the downward trend in global COVID-19 cases has stalled and in some countries reversed as the Delta and Beta variants of the virus spread rapidly, particularly in non-vaccinated regions. In Australia, there were another 59 cases over the weekend, and the next few days in New South Wales are critical to determining whether the current lockdown continues beyond Friday. Globally, there's been a surge in cases in countries with low vaccination rates, including South Korea, Indonesia, South Africa, Russia, Colombia and Mexico. Even in places with high vaccination rates, notably the United Kingdom, around 20 states in the US, parts of Europe and Israel, case numbers are rising. The average number of new cases in the US is up 17% on a fortnight ago, despite fewer tests being taken. On Friday, Tokyo reported the highest number of daily infections since May, with the Olympic Games just 3 weeks away. Russia's reported 5 consecutive days of new record levels of COVID deaths, and in the UK, around 25,000 new cases are being reported each day, and the trend is upwards. What the last couple of weeks has shown is that there's still a long way to go in the fight against COVID-19. The number of cases recorded globally is now 183 million, with almost 4 million deaths. And the best weapon we have against the coronavirus is vaccination. In overseas news, Wall Street finished higher over the weekend. The S&P 500 was up 1.7% for the week to a new high and has recorded 7 straight sessions of records, something last seen in 1997. But with the possible exception of Wall Street, there's just a sense of pessimism in global share markets at the moment, with fears of new waves of COVID-19 causing some angst among investors. Last week, Eurozone shares fell 0.5%. In Japan, they were down 1% and 3% in China. Australia was flat. Bond yields and metal and iron ore prices fell, while the US dollar, which people want in tough times, appreciated against other currencies. Oil prices were up, which doesn't really follow my argument about concern among investors. But in the case of crude, the issue is around supply. OPEC and other major producers failed to reach an agreement on increasing the supply of oil over the weekend, pushing prices to their highest level in 3 years. The group, which includes the 2 big producers, Saudi Arabia and Russia, are due to meet again tonight. Cyber hackers hit more than 1,000 companies over the weekend, forcing one of Sweden's biggest supermarkets to close hundreds of stores. The hackers attacked an information technology management software supplier, throwing supply chains of thousands of companies into chaos. While it's unclear who was behind the attack, Russian criminal groups have been named. And it's been a good weekend for the Brits. First, they made it into the Euro football semi-finals after beating Germany and Ukraine. They'll play on Thursday morning Australian time for a chance to take on either Italy or Spain in the final. And over the weekend, London reclaimed its crown as the largest share trading centre in the region. Having been dethroned by Amsterdam following Brexit, the FTSE started trading Swiss equities again, and that was enough for it to reclaim the crown. Locally, restrictions across the country are slowly being eased, though New South Wales will remain shut down at least until the end of the week. On Friday, the Northern Territory and Western Australia came out of lockdown. Yesterday, the lockdown in Queensland was lifted. New South Wales State Premier Gladys Berejiklian is hoping some easing may occur from this Friday, but it's too soon to tell. There were 51 new cases in New South Wales over the weekend, including 3 aged care residents, all of whom were vaccinated. None are showing COVID symptoms. Otherwise, there were 7 cases in Queensland and 1 in Western Australia. The numbers follow Friday's National Cabinet meeting, which agreed to halve the international arrivals cap, even though there are still 34,000 Australians stranded overseas. The Prime Minister said there'd be a phased approach to emerging from the COVID crisis, with travel becoming available and lockdowns less regular as a number of fully vaccinated Australians increased. Westpac revealed on Friday that it was exposed to a potential $200 million fraud. A company called Forum Finance was at the centre of a complex potential fraud involving leasing equipment. The bank said no customers had experienced a loss and it had informed regulators. And it's a big week for the economy. The Reserve Bank Board meets tomorrow with many analysts expecting the central bank to start preparing the way for tighter monetary policy. No one thinks there'll be any change to the official cash rate, but it could announce a more flexible approach to its purchase of bonds. That means not supporting November 2024 bonds. For we homeowners, it means fixed home loan rates for 3 years and beyond could start creeping higher. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you hit follow so you get it every morning. And if you'd like more detail and more stories, search for our longer daily podcast called Fear and Greed. We also release a daily interview. Today we're talking to Daniel Petrie, founder of Airtree Ventures, about what startups need to do before they approach him for investment. I'll be back later for the afternoon market report. I'm Sean Aylmer. Have a great day.